Well, in our reading today in Acts 15, we're going to find that Paul and Barnabas are about to prepare to leave on their second missionary journey. But as they do, they have a disagreement about who to take with them. Barnabas wanted to take John Mark, a young cousin of his, but Paul disagreed because John Mark had accompanied them part way on their first missionary journey, but he had deserted them mid-trip. We don't know why. It could have been discouragement or immaturity or something else. But the bottom line is he left, and Paul and Barnabas disagreed about whether to take him with them or not. And God gifts us all differently. We have different strengths, different weaknesses, and we see things from different perspectives. Perhaps I imagine Paul was very practical and he wanted to take someone with them who was dependable and he could count on. Barnabas, on the other hand, Barnabas wasn't actually his name. His name was Joseph, but they called him Barnabas, which meant son of encouragement. It was a nickname because he was a great encourager. So, what ended up happening was Barnabas took John Mark and Paul took a man named Silas. So, what really happened was two missionary teams ended up going out. Just an example of how God uses everything for good in our lives. But what about Barnabas and Paul and John Mark? Did they ever reconcile? Well, actually, they did. And Paul mentions Barnabas in a positive light in 1 Corinthians 9:6. And later we find John Mark ministering alongside Paul, probably as a direct result of Barnabas's encouragement and mentoring. And then at the end of his life, when he was in a Roman prison, Paul sends for John Mark to come to him. And John Mark would turn out to be a close associate of the Apostle Peter and would end up writing the book of Mark, the Gospel of Mark. Talk about God's ability and willingness and plans to redeem failure and even our discouragements and differences. Amen. So, what about you? Is there some area where you have failed God or you believe you failed God? Maybe you've lost hope that you can do something for God. What might God be saying to you through this?